Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem on the ground right now in Colombia, meeting with leaders about America's effort to crack down on illegal immigration. She just visited a prisoner in El Salvador. We brought that to you live yesterday. Let's bring in Ron Vitiello, Senior Advisor at Customs and Border Patrol, former Acting Director of ICE, and former Border Patrol Chief. Great to see you again, Ron. Let's dive in here. Secretary Noem says DHS has nearly 100% control of the border now. We're also seeing the number of encounters at the southern border declining pretty drastically. Do you expect these numbers to stay down?
Yes, I do. There is a lot of work still yet to be done, but Secretary Noem has put us on a path with the leadership of the White House and Donald Trump to have troops on the border helping the front line of DHS secure that border. Troops deployed in Mexico to keep smugglers at bay on their side of the line. Lots of cooperation from the Department of Justice with regard to prosecuting those who continue to invade, and the Department of State also helping us remove people who are in custody, keeping them out of harm's way and returning them back, sending a message around the world that the border is in fact a difficult place, a dangerous place, but also a place they're not allowed to come in.
The other big story today, we heard Attorney General Pam Bondi talk about it a second ago. It's the arrest of the MS-13 gang leader. It happened in Virginia. Let's listen to more of what you have to say about the arrest.
Anything you can associate with MS-13, he was the leader over it. All of the violent crimes. So he's very dangerous. He should not have been in this country. He's from El Salvador, and he was recruited at a very early age, and it rose to the leadership, and you have to be bad, you have to be tough to get there. But he is no longer tough because he is behind bars.
Ron, break down for me how significant this arrest is.
Well, Northern Virginia, where I live, is a place that's suffered for a long time under the threats that are posed by this transnational criminal organization called MS-13. So taking the leader into custody out of Northern Virginia sends, again, a message to those people that are in the gang, those people that have just been recruited by the gang, many of which we know have come into the country very recently. Many of them have come in as children under the age of 18, an endless supply of recruits over the last 4 years. And so this is an example of what the government can do when you move the red tape out of the way and you have an emphasis on making America safe again. These are the kind of results that we can have across the board in places like Northern Virginia, but in other places as well.
Ron, when I heard about this arrest today, one of the first things that occurred to me is just how many MS-13 gang members are at large here in the United States.
Yeah, and this is an example of where the immigration laws and having a system that has integrity helps protect us all. Gangs like this and the Tren de Aragua gang from Venezuela, they're particularly vulnerable to immigration enforcement because they don't have a right to be and stay in the United States. And so we can attack all criminal organizations at the same time, but these groups that have been imported or invaded recently can be removed quickly, thereby keeping the communities safer and while we're controlling the border, preventing them from coming back in illegally.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.